शन्नो भवद्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुरुक्रमः नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्भक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु भक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. The words Satyam is, Jnanam shines, Anantam endless, limitless. These are the words designed to describe Brahman. Immediately, when we think of words like this or any other words, the temptation is to think of them as attributes. And Adi Shankara in the commentary gives a very good example of how we are oriented to think of any words of descriptions as having an adjectival function. The lily flower which grows in the water comes in many colors. So supposing if I say, please bring me a lily, then the person bringing me the lily will say, what, there are so many lilies, what lily do you want? Bring me the big lily. Oh, okay. There are many lilies and I should bring you the big one. But then when the person goes to see the lilies, there are many big lilies. Oh, what to do now? There are so many big lilies. Okay, bring me the big blue lily. Ah, okay, thank you. That really helps for me to know what you want. You want it not only to be big, but also what? Blue. Then I go to the blue section and then I look for big blue lily. Then I find there are many big blue lilies. Another quandary, what to do now? Then it is told, Adi Shankara says, bring me the big blue fragrant lily. Mahat Neela Sugandhi Utpalam. Big blue fragrant lily. Now that clinches it. Then some of them don't have fragrance, then one of them I find has the fragrance, so I'm able to fulfill the wish of bringing a lily that is big, blue, and fragrant. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, not like that. Immediately, if we start looking at these things in an adjective, these words in an adjectival fashion, we run into problems. How many lilies are there? Many, 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 many lilies. How many Brahmans are there? The last time we checked? One, non-dually one, partlessly one. Already we see there is a difference. Because what is an adjective? An adjective is that which distinguishes things of its own kind. Tree, tall tree, leafy tree, deciduous tree, coconut tree, mango tree, these are all adjectives. because there are many trees. The jati, the species, the noun called tree, has many kinds, many species, many different varieties. And even in the varieties, there are sub varieties. Even if you take mango tree, then there are so many kinds of, there are, I think, 85 kinds of mangoes in the world. So that itself is there, so many things. So therefore, here, when we are talking about the only one thing, you cannot use these words as adjectives. Oh, then if they are not adjectives, what are they? They are words that specially are used only to define Brahman. They are not adjectival, they are definitive. They are in the sense of a definition of Brahman, because we don't know what is Brahman. And the Upanishad, she is trying to tell us what is Brahman, and she says Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. So they are defining words, not words that list attributes. This we have to understand. Because if there were attributes, then Brahman would become one more thing in the universe, driving us mad with those attributes. And so then Adi Shankara gives another example, very beautiful example. Shankaracharya says in the Bhashya, in the commentary to the Taittiriya Upanishad, there are certain things in the world that there is only one of. Like what? Space. How many spaces are there? One. If you say two, see me after the satsang. Okay. Yeah, so one space. Only one space is there. But then there is a definition for this space. We don't try to make space for space and try to distinguish space from other spaces. No, even though in uh, everyday parlance we are used to saying stomach space and room space, hall space, closet space, outdoor space. We say that. But we know there is only one space. We are not confused about that. Sometimes we say, I am spaced out. Yeah, head space. So even though we have all these expressions, we know there is only one space. And so the definition of space is very unique in the Shastra. Avakasha pradatra akasha. That which accommodates is space. Look at that. It's a specific definition for space. It doesn't fit anything else, nothing else at all. It's just amazing. You can't use it anywhere else. You keep putting things, it accommodates. You keep putting things, it accommodates. Even the closet in your house, if you don't clean it out, keep putting things, it will accommodate as much as possible. And one day when you open, you will have abhisheka of all the contents on your head. This is what happens. That which accommodates, like nothing else can accommodate, is called space. So we see that even in the regular world of everyday transactions, vyavaharika satta, we still have an example of there being only one thing of its kind, that is space, and we have a definition of space. That's why we have to reorient our attitude to see the words Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. More about that we'll see. But to see these words as defining words, describing words, not adjectively, but in the sense of a definition that fits Brahman and only Brahman, nothing else. Then we have another problem, because how Brahman itself we don't know. And so, how do we communicate Brahman to another? This is a pedagogical problem. How do we, Brahman means what? How to communicate? If I use some words, okay, Brahman is very special, so I need some special words to talk about Brahman, And then if I use some special words which nobody understands, and I don't even know what those special words would be, we'll have to make something up. And Tatapata, Brahman. What is that? Nobody knows. Even I don't know what is that. Some noise it is. I can't use special words to communicate Brahman because I have to use, the Shastra has to use, and the teacher has to use words that one is familiar with. Existence, everybody knows. Is. In fact, it's the first verb in the Sanskrit grammar. Bhu, to be. Bhu, and then when you look at the definition of bhu, it says sattayam, in the sense of existence. So, very cleverly, the Shastra takes the first verb in the list of verbs in the Sanskrit language and makes this communicable, communicates, is, is, is. And then it becomes very easy for me. Tree is, room is, light is, fan is. And here again, that orientation we have to correct. When I say tree is, what am I saying? Tree exists, correct? Tree exists, very clear. Tree is, everybody understands. Tree is. But we think the isness, if I can use that word now, that we think normally in the everyday world that the isness is an attribute of the tree. But actually, we have to make it do a headstand, that orientation. Isness is not an attribute to the tree. Tree is an attribute to the isness. The isness, which is the source of everything that is, and it has many, many names, many, many forms, many, many words to describe the isness. The isness sways in the tree, shines in the sun, flows in the river, and in the human being complains. Okay, sorry, I don't have any other flattering thing to say. In the jiva complains, same business, same Brahman. We have to reverse it for it to make sense. That same business is. Isness is not an attribute to the things that we find. The things are an attribute and as though attribute to that isness. See, now the understanding is expanding, so to speak. We can see it in a very, very different way. Then we ask the question, what is the nature of this isness? Is it a dead is or a live is? And the answer will be what? It is alive, sentient, conscious. How do you know? I am alive, sentient, conscious being. The isness cannot be outside of me. If I am describing an isness that is forever, then it should include me. We have already seen this. If I say it is a dead is, then what? I'm excluding myself. I am a conscious being. So it's a sentient is. The isness is sentient. And then we say it is limitless in the sense that it pervades everything. That which has name, that which doesn't have name, that which has form, that which doesn't have form. everything it pervades. So then we have a very different view of the Jagat, the universe. The universe is an attribute to Brahman, an as though attribute, full of names and forms, Nama Rupa. In the Chandogya Upanishad, the Nama Rupa, the names and forms, are described differently. They are described as word and meaning. Vak alambanam. Everything is settling on my tongue, dependent upon speech. When I say the word pot, it is a word which has a meaning. Thought, word which has a meaning. Cat, word which has a meaning. Rat, mat, hat, word and meaning, word and meaning, word and meaning, word and meaning. The whole world is a series of words and meanings, endlessly spread. And the human problem is confusing the word and meaning to be the ultimate. All words and meanings are non separate from Brahman. Brahman is not any word or any meaning. Oh, but you just said Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Those are just indicatory words. It's like if there is an arrow, or sometimes they have a human hand pointing, there is a sign with a human hand pointing. Restaurant, that way. What am I supposed to do when I see that sign? Hmm? Go that way. Go the way it indicates. But instead, if I catch hold of the sign or try to eat the sign, it's not going to satisfy my hunger. It is telling me, it's indicating where to go, what to do. Where the restaurant is, it is showing. That is the purpose of the road sign, any sign leading to something. Restaurant, the favorite restaurant that you want to eat in, is that way. There is an arrow, there is a pointing finger painted on the sign. Go that way. The words Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam are exactly like the sign pointing to a street, pointing to a restaurant, pointing to the destination. I have to go there. How? And how will I find it? Thankfully, being myself, it is self evident. Because it is self evident, no words, no names, no forms. Because if it is told the Brahman is this much alone, then it excludes everything else. Therefore, all names are just indications. Brahman is free, transcends, we can use the word, all names and all forms all the time. And this being the case, the words Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam are extremely unique, very uniquely used, so that there is no confusion at all what is Brahman. This is what is the bridge. These words are the bridge to understanding this concept of Ananda. That is why we are spending some time talking about this. Going back to how these words function, again, a few other things to note. One thing we see is that we are using words that we already know: existence, consciousness, knowledge, ananta, limitless, limitlessness. We know these words. But again, the orientation has us trapped. Existence means what? In time. We always think of time. Sanskrit grammar is unique because, in addition to active voice and passive voice, we have one more voice called abstract voice, bhave prayoga. usage of the abstract voice. Existence in the sense of that abstract existence, not an attribute to anything. It is often described in English as ness, humanness, kindness. So, in that sense, existence, and when we use it in the abstract sense, the time space matrix is removed from the word. We just have a word is without the concept of time, without the concept of space, without the concept of it qualifying anything. Same thing with the word jnanam. Jnanam is again a very interesting word. Knowledge. Knowledge means what? Does it mean me as the knower? It cannot mean that, because if I say it means knower, then it excludes object of knowledge. Let's say I want to know pot. Subject. Object is excluded. And then me to the object, what is that? How do I know this is pot? I have a pair of eyes. This is the way I know that this is pot. The eyes, the pramana called pratyaksha pramana, the eyes are the bridge between the subject and the object. That which brings together the subject and the object, in this case, are the eyes, because I want to see the color and the form of the pot, shape of the pot, color of the pot, I have to know. I use my eyes. And the word jnanam is so vague that it can fit either the knower, jnanam, jnata, it can fit the object of knowledge, jnayam, it can also fit the bridge, the pramana, the means of knowledge that brings together subject and object, and that is what? Jnanam. Everything is known as jnanam. Will the real jnanam please stand up? This is very confusing. If I say Brahman is Jnanam, then what is this? Brahman is knower, knower is Brahman, yes. What about the pot? Pot is Brahman, yes. What about the eyes, the sight? That brings together the knower and the known in this particular example. Yes, that is also Brahman. But then what is Brahman? Neither the knower, nor the known, nor the means of knowledge. That which sustains everything without becoming any one thing. This is what we say is Brahman. The word Ananta is what clinches everything. The word Ananta makes it very, 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 very clear. It knocks off the limitations connected to the word is, knocks off the limitations connected to the word knows, known, knowing, knocks off all the limitations, because the word Ananta means forever. This is what one wants. One doesn't want the bank balance for security. Oh, no, no, you speak for yourself. I have to pay bills. Even if you say that, I will still insist. What is it that you want? Security. How long you want it? How long do you want to be secure? Very important question. And nobody will say, oh Lord, please make me secure for 5 minutes. Is that our prayer? No. Please make me secure forever. Please make me happy forever. One is in search of this permanence in the everyday activities. One is searching for Brahman all the time, but in the wrong places. In the world of names and forms, which by definition are finite, I am looking for the infinite. Like the grandma in the village who lost her needle while she was doing embroidery. And she started to look for it, And before long, the whole village gathered to help the grandma. Then one young person had a thought, asked, "Oh, I lost it in my house, 2 kilometers from here. Then why are we looking for it here? Because in my house there is no electricity. Here in the village square, it is all lit up. We are looking here." This is exactly what it is like to look for Brahman as a particular name and as a particular form. The whole search becomes futile. It becomes futile because I'm looking for the infinite in the world of the finite. Who is the infinite? The looker is the infinite. The seeker is the one who is also the sought. So the nature of the seeker has to be understood, and in knowing the nature of the seeker, one is free of dukkha, sorrow, because that's what one wants. Nobody wants, nobody wants the job. What do people want? Permanent security. In India, this is very common. One person says to the other person, "Oh, I have a job." And the other person, the friend asks, "Is it permanent?" "I moved into a new house. Is it your own?" And they'll say, "Yes, actually, it is not your own. It belongs to the bank." Okay. And then, same thing with the marriage also. Even in the sixth marriage, the vow is this time it is forever. I don't want the marriage. I want the forever. I don't want the thing. I want it to last forever. The search forever in the not forever places is the cause of samsara, is the cause of dukkha. This is why we need to know what Brahman is, because this Brahman is myself alone. And what is this Jagat then? What is this universe? We cannot say the universe is not Brahman, because that is a contention which the Upanishad dismisses right at the beginning, both in the Taittiriya Upanishad and in the Chandogya Upanishad. In the Chandogya Upanishad, in the sixth chapter, the student is told, the student, Shvetaketu, is told immediately. What is he told? He is told that this Jagat was there right at the beginning. Even before it came into this manifest state, it was there. Oh, it was there. Where was it? It was formless, demanifest, but it was there. It did not come out of something called zero, shunya. It was there. Then what was there? How was it there? It was there as Sat, same, Satyam, Sat. Jagat was Sat. Oh, so now it is Asat. No, now also it is what? Sat, existent. Before it was existence itself, all names and forms have as though come out of this existence, sustained by this existence. They go back to this existence, go back to Brahman. We replace the word existence with Brahman. They have emerged, as it were, from Brahman, sustained as though by Brahman, resolve as it were into Brahman. But why do you use the word as though, as though, as though all the time? Because that is how it is. The example that's given to assimilate this is one's own dream. You are dreaming that you are in the Bahamas. Why? Because this time you couldn't make it. You're dreaming. Yes, I'm there. I'm sitting in the garden hall, garden platform, and I'm listening. Around me, there are so many people, so many colors, white, yellow, orange, so many colors are there. I'm listening to Taittiriya Upanishad. This is the dream. Because the desire was there. It just did not work out to go there. this time, to come here this time. So, therefore, the dream. What is the dream after all, other than a manifestation of memory and desire? So, I had this dream, and in the dream, one is sitting there, one is enjoying the lectures, one is enjoying the beach, one is enjoying the brunch, one is enjoying all the other people as well. Now, in the dream, you have given yourself a body. Yes, you have a body. You identify with that body. And there are other bodies also. So many other people have come to the ashram and they are all there. And who are all these people? I have given all these people bodies as well. They are all me. They are not separate from me. And then what about all the other insentient things? Props, beach. Beach is me. Sand is me. And the hall is me. Cushion is me. Everything is me. Bhajan is me. Everything is me, 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 me. And then the alarm bell rings. Alas, you have woken up not in the Bahamas. Sad but true. And when you wake up, where are the pieces of the dream? Are they strewn around you? No. Neatly goes back to that same awareness, that same consciousness from which it was as though projected. Memory and desire are the ingredients of the everyday dream on the level of the Vyashti individual level. Same thing on the level of the Samashti, the collective level. This Brahman, cause of the universe, Ishvara, God, Bhagavan, has a desire. It is said in the Taittiriya Upanishad. So kamayat bahusyam praja yegeti. What is the desire? Bhagavan doesn't have desires. It's the clamoring individual desires. The individuals which were one with Bhagavan wanted to separate. They didn't want a divorce. They just wanted many, many experiences, which you cannot have in a state of oneness. Let me out. This is the Jiva's lot. First one cries, let me out. I want to go. I want to be born. I want to have experiences. I'm an experience hunter after all. And then after that, what? I'm sad. Let me in. Let me back in into this story of oneness. Give me this knowledge. This is how the cycle of projection and withdrawal. Bhagavan doesn't have any desires. Bhagavan is there. Brahman is there. It is neither the doer nor the desirer. But we have to give some explanation to this Jagat because it is palpable, it is a reality. We live in it, we talk, we walk. Here is where everybody gets hurt. Here is where one picks up and decides to walk again. And so, therefore, the Upanishad gives this helpful explanation that Brahman desired, this Brahman Ishvara desired. What was the desire? Let me, as though, become many. This is the desire. And then you said memory. What is the memory? The memory is the previous cycle of the universe. Why reinvent the wheel? Because the previous cycle was infallible and perfect. Let us just contemplate on that and spew forth the universe in the same manner, infallible, wonderful, and non separate from me. This is what is the universe, non separate from Bhagavan. Oh, so is the universe a dream of Ishvara? No. The dream example is just to assimilate that there's only one being who projects, who retracts the projection, who sustains the projection. Here also, at the level of the total, We have one being, one conscious being in whom all knowledge rests. And this being, Ishvara, Brahman, Brahman, endowed with the power to project, the power to sustain, the power to take back all words and meanings, names and forms. This is what the whole universe is. But what is the connection between me and the Jagat and me and Brahman in the form of what? Ishvara. We will see that later tonight. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.